Alright, so I'm back, and today, as promised, we are going to be putting together the Fansproject Bruticus, sort of. And the reason why I say sort of is we're actually not going to use Munitioner or Explorer for this. We're going to use the rest of these guys. And show you how all that looks put together. So, I've done this before, but like I said, completely different colorations on them. Let's see here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pop the head on. And of course it's giving me some trouble here. Go, pop that into place, and then we want to fold the head up like so, and rotate these up, and we want to get it so that these guys, there's a little peg right there, they'll plug in that hole right there, just like so. And then this will come up. And there's two pegs on the back of the arms here and here that'll plug into these holes here. Just like so. And then you want to take these bits here and they just rotate back. Like so. Just kind of try and keep them out of the way. You can fold them up like this too. Actually, that's the way we're going to do that. But if you fold them out, they just kind of fill in that little gap here. Push that up until it snaps, and then you want to rotate the legs up like so. I like to rotate them over here like this because you want to have the back piece forward where there's the screw holes instead of that piece. So we'll just fold that up like so. And you can, I think the official transformation for this guy was like this, but I like to do it to the side, so it just kind of fills out his thighs a little bit better. So, like so. Setting him off to the back. We'll grab the helicopter dude. We won't need these inner John weapons, so just toss those off. And fold this up, fold the arms in like so, and then you rotate this like so, and then you can pull the legs around like this, and this is how you want to configure him. Then you get these pieces, and if you want to see me actually showing off all the different modes for these, you know, the weapons and stuff like that, I do have a video I posted a long time ago where I did an in-depth review of all the accessories. So check that out. So you just kind of slot that in. There's two little slots here and here that just kind of, this slides over. Those and these slot holes right here, and you just slide that in, and it just holds it into place. It's not the tightest hold in the world, but it actually suffices pretty well. Alright, now we want to take this piece here. You want to get it so that the missile pods are facing down. Flip this out, and this will just, there's a hole here that'll plug into this plug right there. So you just plug that in. Come over here, do the same thing there, and there you go. So you got his left arm done. And we'll just set him off to the side. Taking him, remove his sword. And essentially the top half of him, you're reverting back to shuttle mode. So fold his head in, pulling these things up. And like so. Pull hands in, like so. And then you want to come down here, and basically all you're going to do here, slip this little piece up, like so. And then these will, you want to make sure this little metal pin goes in that hole right there. And then there's another tab that's in there that'll plug right there. A hole, that tab, there. So, and then I want to rotate this so it's like this, giving him that extra bend in the elbow. And then you take the right hand here, and this will just plug in right here, like so. And then you take this piece here, and again, you make sure the missile pods are facing down. But there's two slots, one here, or two pegs, I guess, that'll slot into the chest cavity here and here. So just take that and plug it in, and there you go. We'll take the tank here. Again, don't need this anymore. Get rid of it. Burn it, throw it away, rotate the head around, slot that into place, collapse the feet, try and keep that stuff together, because as you remember, mine has suffering from some major issues here. Plug those back in. Fold the tank treads back. So he goes all the way back to tank mode, essentially. Somebody's gonna have some super glue put on him if he doesn't start cooperating. Trying to see if this thing was move independently, if I could just glue this into place, but it's not. There you go. And then you want to take right foot here, and this will just the two pegs in the front and this little slot right here will plug in to these two holes in that slot there. Just like so. Now this guy goes all the way back to Jeep mode. So just slide that back. I just did this transformation, so I don't know why I'm showing you this particular transformation, because you've already seen it. And it's not like this is a new figure that most people don't have. And I'm trying to decide whether or not to get another one of these sets for my Bruticus, my G1 Bruticus. I'm debating on that or the or getting the Fall Cybertron with the microblaze. And it all really depends on how well this guy scales with the Combiner Wars Superion, which we'll look at next. I put them together, but I deliberately didn't want to do a size comparison with them on my own. I wanted to wait for that. So, alright, so we got this in all together. Get the other foot here. I wonder... You can plug this in either side, so it doesn't matter which side it really goes on. I just wanted to check that. Alright, now, the only main difference here is unlike the Swindle, he's got this plug right here that's blocking the combiner port. And it just pulls out, and it's the same exact combiner port, so it gives you no issues whatsoever. Alright, so now we just take combiner port here, plug it together, and plug it together. Keep the camera up. And I like to put all the little bits on after I get the bulk of the robot put together. So there we go. Arm's a little loose. That's okay. Alright, then we take the crotch piece here. Just got some pegs in the back, and that just will plug in there. And as you can see, the grays don't quite match because this isn't the right barricade that was designed, that the set was based on. Pull the camera up a little bit so you get more of a head-on look. Come around to the back, and there's slot peg hole here and a peg there. They'll peg into this peg here and peg hole there, and it doesn't quite peg into both on mine. Actually, I've never been able to get on any of the sets I've ever had get them both peg in properly, but they peg in decently. So. What are you doing? There we go. Alright. Alright, and then you take the sword here, and just like before, we can take this and plug it in. There's a little tab right here. You can plug that in too. So, and then I like to take the big rifle for this guy, and back here he's got this little slot doohickey that you can just kind of slide it in. It doesn't hold it very well, but it holds it well enough. And then you take the shotgun number 1, we'll plug it into this hand here. And then shotgun number 2, we'll plug into this hand over here. And there we go. And now we have him in combine mode. And as you can see, he's definitely not Bruticus. But for me, he's kind of like a cross between the G2 Bruticus and Ruination from the RID line. And that's what I was kind of going for when, when I got the actual set, it came with these guys. And it came with the Munitioner Explorer. I could have easily gotten the Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus or the United Bruticus to go with the set, but then it's like, I've already got the mismatched colors going on over here, and somebody, Michael Young, had these guys over here, and he offered them to me for a good trade, so I figured, what the hell, I could just go ahead and get these guys, and make it more of a Ruination style, or G2, if you will. And I think it really works. It works really well for me anyway. I don't know how well you guys are liking this, but I enjoy this figure. So this particular configuration, head is on a ball joint. The cannons do rotate forward. Arms rotate up, go in and out. This one is a little loose. Bends at the bicep there, double bend elbows, hand swivels. It is just on a 5mm port, so be cautious of that. Thumb is on a ball joint. Each individual finger's on a ball joint, and it has one hinge in there as well. His waist does rotate. Nice ratchet on that. Legs move up, down, and out. There's a thigh swivel. Rotates at the knee. This just is not pegging in all the way. Hold on. I don't know why that's not pegging in completely. So it bends at the knee, and then his foot does have pivot to it. His hand came off. So that is one downside of this set is, although actually I've never really had this issue before, so it might just be this particular configuration, because I did have the original Munitioner Explorer and the Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus, and it worked just fine. And I had the United one with the reissue Munitioner Explorer, and again it worked just fine. So I think it's just the set, but basically you are kit bashing a bunch of figures together to try and make this work. So for size comparison, I know I'm not doing the one that you guys want for comparison, but here he is next to the Seeker mold. And I think for classic Seekers, this actually scales pretty well. Because he's still really big. I mean, he's not massive, but he's still pretty big in comparison to the classic Seeker mold. Obviously, if you wanted him in the right scale as the classic Seekers, Starscream should be about that big. So, because he was able to stand on his shoulder in the cartoon. It's just not going to happen. We're never going to have combiners in the right scale. Ever. Here he is next to the iGear Seeker. And for larger classics, this really doesn't work too well unless you're going with G1 toy scale accuracy. Because this guy is about right to the G1 toy. Because the G1 Seekers were big, and the G1 Combiners honestly weren't that huge to begin with. So yeah. So there's that. MP car, same situation, really. You know, if you're going for toy scale accuracy, this is actually not too far off from where an MP or a G1 car would be. Obviously, it's not in scale with the way the cartoon had it, but this isn't actually that far off. And then here it is with the Springer mold. So, there you go. But yeah, all in all, I do really enjoy the set. I really like the coloration breakup here, as opposed to just the standard setup. He's definitely going to be my like G2 Bruticus / Ruination, depending on how well I like his scale with the Superion, which we're going to look on next. But all in all, I'm going to give the whole set a 9 out of 10. I really enjoy this set. I think Fansproject really knocked this out of the park as an upgrade kit. This is what I really enjoy when any third party comes in, is when they take an existing figure and just make it better. Because Hasbro does a really good job with figures, they just don't always knock them out of the park. but that's where third party comes in and helps out. Now that we're in that whole process of, sorry, camera was freezing. Now we're in that whole process where third party companies are making their whole new combiners. I mean, we've been there for years now, but now that they're doing stuff like that, and now they're in competition with Hasbro, stuff like that. Whereas, I think they're really starting to irritate Hasbro. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we start seeing Hasbro deliberately going after these third-party companies. Like I said in my Hasbro Combiner War video a while back, or Hasbro versus third-party war. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happening more deliberately, because they are starting to take money from Hasbro that Hasbro should be getting. And I'm not saying that they're right or they're wrong. I'm not on anybody's side on this one. I'm just saying, because I manage a hotel, so I work in a business that's there to make money. And Hasbro is a business that's there to make money. And while they can't cater to the fans all the time, they still, I could still see them looking at these third-party companies that are making whole new sets, whole new series, and getting a little pissed off. So when it comes to sets like this, where it adds to the Hasbro figure, I was there. I remember Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus was the repaint of the Energon Bruticus set. That was what Hasbro released and gave us during the Revenge of the Fallen line. It was originally released for $20, and that ended up on clearance everywhere. I picked mine up for $5 at Target because it was so heavily clearance. Nobody wanted it. It didn't look movie accurate, so it wasn't in the movie, so the kids weren't buying it. And all the collectors are like, well, we already have the Energon Combiner, and it's nothing to write home about. So it was one of those, like, this thing is not going anywhere. Then Fansproject came along, made this set, and everybody all of a sudden was wanting the Revenge of the Fallen set. And it went up to $100 plus on eBay real quick after the original Munitioner Explorer, and a lot of people were buying the Energon ones. There was a green tank, and that guy is actually going for a lot of money still. There was a purple helicopter. He goes for an insane amount of money, and they were just buying those things up left and right. And then Fansproject announced that they're going to be reissuing these guys. And so Takara reissued the Energon Bruticus in G1 coloration. The timing was just perfect. And they released that for $100. $100 for something that originally was going for $20 at Target, or in the Revenge of the Fallen line. That was so heavily clearanced that nobody wanted it. And then, now they can sell that set for $100 plus, and that set now is going for hundreds on eBay. So what I'm getting at is, like, when a third party company comes along and does this, or like Fansproject when they did the Ultra Magnus upgrade kit. Nobody wanted the Ultra Magnus. It was just a white Optimus Prime. Nobody wanted it. And you could pick up a dozen of them on eBay for nothing for a while there. Hell, the original set was $20 for Voyager and a deluxe. It was an amazing price, but nobody wanted the Ultra Magnus. Once Fansproject released City Commander and the reviews started getting out on it, those things got snatched up left and right. Now he goes for a really, really good price. So what I'm saying is, like, when that happens, Hasbro doesn't care. You could tell that they don't care. They want to make money. But once they start competing with them by making a whole new set, then they start getting irritated. Now, I am fine with the Barricade or the repaints of Barricade, for the real Bruticus anyway. And I'm fine with whatever helicopter that they have. I do think that somebody does need to make us an updated Brawl, though. That would be very, very nice. He is the weakest link in this whole set. If somebody were to make a updated Brawl and do it in G1 colors, Ruination colors, and G2 colors, that's what I would do. And I think there's still enough fan base of this set, like me, that would buy that. At least one coloration. And, you know, a Scout class figure, third party, would probably go, you know, $50. And I think a lot of people would easily buy that. And that would not negate what we got going on here, because people would still buy the whole United or Revenge of the Fallen set because they came in a set. You can't buy just the individual figures. You're going to pay just as much. So, anyway, that's what I'm getting at. So I think it's a really good set. Fansproject did a really good job with what they had, and they just really, really made this set shine for what it is. Yes, it's feeling a little dated, but at the same time, it's not as bad as a lot of people give it crap for. It's no Warbotron, that's for sure, but it's not an entirely new Combiner. It's using what was there. So I think they really did a really good job. It does show its age a little bit, but it's not terrible. Not like the City Commander set. That one definitely shows its age. This one, not so bad. Not so bad. I still really like this figure. So there you go. There's my review of this guy. Next we'll take a look at the Superion set, and then we'll do a scale comparison with all my Combiners that I have.